What has happened is the last 4 decades, everything has changed. Construction practices have changed. Quality of construction has drastically improved. I must say we are as good as any part of the world. The three things that count anywhere, in any product, commercial, residential, retail, whatever you say, is location, location, location.
Ramani, thank you very much for being here today. I think we can talk about the residential market here in India. But before we start that, can you tell us a little bit more about Sterling, please?
Thank you, Gustavo, for having me over here today. I've been in Bangalore, and this company is founded by me in 1983. And we are about a 40-year-old company in this business. The prior experience I've had is in Bombay too. I started my career in real estate in Bombay and moved to Bangalore in the early 80s when Bangalore was still a sleepy town. We've been predominantly a player in the residential sector. At one point in time, we were in the affordable housing, but then as times changed, we moved up to the middle segment and the luxury segment. Currently, at one point in time, we were in the affordable housing, but then as times changed, we moved up to the middle segment and the luxury segment. Currently, we operate both in the upper middle segment and in the exact ultra luxury segment, and we operate out of 3 cities: Bangalore, Bombay, and Pune.
How do you see the market nowadays? We see that residential market is doing quite well in India, but there's some hiccups here and there. Do you see room for growth?
I do believe that the market in the last 6 quarters has actually gone up multiple times. I do see that there is going to be a kind of stability coming in, but I don't see an issue with the market because, one, post the COVID shutdown, when all the cities opened up, the true demand for housing showed up then. Earlier, people used to be happy with whatever accommodation they had without ever wanting that additional space. It's only COVID that taught everybody that you need to have a spare room over and above what you use. So most people, home has become aspirational. No one wants to settle for something less. Everybody doesn't mind asking for something higher, and they're happy to take the strain and the burden of making that kind of an arrangement to pay for it when they are young.
When you look back at this journey, 4 decades, when you think about the main lesson you have learned, or something that you believe the market have learned, not just you, but the whole market, what was the most important lesson that markets have learned in the last?
I must say that the learning curve has been very interesting, right from the kind of sizing that one would look at to the pricing that one would look at. Everything has changed. What we could take it for granted was a customer's choice or a preference is no longer the same. The customer's aspirations, because he's also traveled. See, if you go back to the 80s, the number of Indians who had traveled overseas was very, very small. So their own idea and exposure to good quality and better quality life and the finishes were not there. But that has now come a full circle. The customer has become more demanding, and now that he's paying the price, he wants to see more. So what has happened is the last 4 decades, everything has changed. Construction practices have changed. Quality of construction has drastically improved. I must say we are as good as any part of the world. I wouldn't even hesitate in saying that whatever we are doing is world class. And also the average Indian customer's experience, because of this global travel, his expectation is nothing less than the world class. So everything has changed. The only experience I can tell you is we've seen about 7 to 8 recessions in the last 4 decades. And each one of us who's been in this profession can tell you, no 2 recession has been similar. So every time a new learning has happened to all of us, and everyone has emerged stronger from the previous recession. So I believe that going forward, if you're on a stable footing and if you're well entrenched into the market, the 3 things that count anywhere, in any product, commercial, residential, retail, whatever you say, is location, location, location. If you have a good location, if you have the right product, if you have the right price, there's nothing to stop you and there's nothing to let you fail.
for somebody or for someone like you who have a solid company and have been through so many crises, what was your secret? The secret that made you actually not only survive but become stronger after every challenge that you faced.
Yeah. So every time you got to realize that, see, real estate is probably the only industry where people tend to stretch more than they should. One thing clearly that comes out is as long as you keep your debt low and don't leverage yourself beyond serviceability, you'll be very well in the game. A lot of people who go belly up, and it happens globally, is when they've overtraded. Unfortunately, real estate is capital intensive. And every year, I have to buy 2 times the value of land to continue to be in this business. Unlike a manufacturing industry, if I put up a factory, the added capacity is not going to cost me the original price of the factory. Whereas here, when I acquire land, if I've closed out a project, I have to make sure that I've acquired 2 more sizes of land larger than what I've closed out. So my capital requirement for projects will always continue to be higher.
If you were a foreign investor trying to enter India now, what's the most important strategy to be successful?
I would say you have to look at the track record of the developer, how long he's been in which market. You have to the understanding of the market is predominant, number 1. Number 2, the sincerity. Number 3, the capability. And number 4, the commitment. If you find all this in any real estate company, you're good to invest with them.
Very good. Now, where do you see yourself in 5 years down the line? What are the plans? How big, how many projects? Do you have that clear in your mind?
Well, we are doing about 10 projects today, currently executing close to 3.7 million square feet, which is a lot of real estate in the current market situation. And I think we have a pipeline of about 3 to 4 million for the next 5-7 years. Going forward, I think the generation next that will be in the driver's seat sometime soon, they have to decide, because real estate earlier meant only residential, commercial, and that format. Today, real estate can mean hospitality, real estate can mean mall, real estate can mean schools. There are so many things that form a part of real estate that it's difficult to predict that this is the path one would go. Today, I was in a meeting where we were in conversation with 3 different types of people who are looking to invest in what we call as hostel for colleges, hostels for schools. So that kind of stuff. White-collared housing is a new term, which I haven't heard of in the last 5 years. So now what has happened is, with the advent of Foxconn and all these manufacturers for the iPhones and electronic equipment coming to Karnataka and to Tamil Nadu, their accommodation on very close to the factory is becoming very critical. So they want good quality accommodation, be it a bachelor or be it a single or a family unit, good quality accommodation which is rental. Students' housing is completely rental. So we are looking at all these kind as emerging new products coming in, emerging opportunities. And it is huge. See, like we were taking stock of CISF, which is a central agency that looks after all the airports in this country. Simple number, one airport, Bangalore Airport, Bangalore International Airport, has about 8,000 CISF employees, of which 4,000 are bachelors, 4,000 are married. Currently, they're all being paid a house rent allowance, and they're all wanting a rental accommodation. So there is an opportunity today.
Big market.
There's a great opportunity in that.
Perfect. Ramani, thank you very much. It was very insightful. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Pleasure.
Really appreciate it.